Hello, Greta. I'm just gonna turn on my light so you can actually see me. How are you doing today? I'm feeling a lot better. I was like pretty destroyed Monday, and then I still had like some interviews to do. So I was showing up to those interviews with like a scratchy throat. It's okay, whatever. So I'll probably do the voiceover this weekend, so you won't be able to hear any of the scratchiness. Tested negative COVID. Uh-oh, ruh-roh spaghettios. Hope you stay safe, because even if it's not deadly, COVID's still not fun to get. Okay, let's see. You know, the weirdest thing is I'm looking at my counter right here on Streamlabs, and it's saying there's 0 viewers, even though you're pretty much a viewer, so... Let me just do a little bit of promoing on my Insta story, and then we'll get started, okay? It says 2 for you. Oh, now it's showing 2. Streamlab lies. We are live, buddios. Okay, who are these 2 viewers? I'm betting it's you and probably either an unconscious Misu or some rando. Yes, it's an unconscious Misu, that's what I figured. Okay, whether it blows up or not. Okay, let's get started. We are going to try to work on the lighting for this, and then we'll throw in the color afterwards, because I feel like it's the easiest way for me to work on environments. Yes, Misu, isn't it like god hours, unholy hours over there? So we are going to work in dichotomous lighting first, so meaning I'm not going to worry too much about like any soft lighting just yet. We're going to think, is it dark or is it light? Then later on we can come back in and kind of make it more nuanced. So I know in like your reference photos you wanted like that kind of really nice, what was the kind of lighting? Let me see. You had that reference photo of them next to that window cafe, so you could do something like that, and in which case you may want to make these windows bigger. And then you can potentially make the lighting even a little bit longer, just to kind of extend it over to this empty space over here. I'm gonna move my mic, it might be scratchy for a second. So we can make this a little bit bigger. And then bring this into shadow, so then we can get a nice kind of contrast. You can choose to make this window as long as this maybe, and then have some shadows from the stuff that you have here, like the leaves over here. Some ugly leaves. Okay, something like that. JJK mobile game. God damn, they have everything. And then just a note, if it's on the arm, it's going to curve just in order to reflect the curved shape of the arm. Shoop, shoop, shoop. You made it home. Wow. No, Jesse, you have made it in time. There's no wrong layer just yet, but I can't say the same for later. You can add some more windows over here, and then you can end it over here. Or we could say each kind of seat over here has a bigger chunk where there's less of a window, and then we have more window afterwards. And that way you can bring some more light into the other areas. And again, you're still going to make sure that follows the same angle. So if we extend this way, you'll see that I'm a dumbass and it didn't work out. Okay, maybe something like this. You can add a little window or a little shadow over here, little shadow over here. And then just to kind of make this feel brighter, you could potentially have some of that light leak over to here. And you could even have some of that light over here. But this would only happen if we extend this all the way over here. That way you would even be able to reach that. Otherwise, I would say you're gonna have to try to fill up this space with some kind of secondary light source. So let us see what we can work with. Shoot. Let's see. In your original photo. Okay, option. We put another character in coming into frame. So I'm going to create a new layer, and then you can have a character that's in the foreground right here that's blurry. And that would be one of the reasons why maybe these characters could interact more with this side of the room. That way, you know, you don't have such a big space. Otherwise, you're gonna have to just kind of crop it a little bit, bring it in just a tad bit, scoot it over more this way, so you have them more in this focal center. So 2 options for you. Oof, driving 6 hours. Next month, I will probably try to delay the crit 2 as late as possible because I am busy. I may potentially even have to change it to Saturday. But I will see how my schedule is because if I get a new job, the hours is going to end at 4 p.m. and I don't know how late I want to go on. Yeah, it'll probably be the last week of October if anything. I will keep you guys updated on my schedule. Keep adding some more lights. Halloween stream. Except Halloween is on Thursday, so you're tripping. Oh, RP. And don't you guys actually have plans? Like, I feel like most people have Halloween parties to go to, even though I don't, because I'm an antisocial freak. And I'm pretty sure you'll probably add some more characters over here, right, Retta? Because I know in your original photo you had a whole bunch of characters, so even if you don't do too crazy details, you could put I was watching JJK season 2. Finally started watching it. You could add more characters. These are all just gonna be blanks for now, because I don't know. You choose how you want to add them. The manga ended this week? Oh shit. Well, I have been not up to date at all then. Woo. Time for me to catch up to it then. I've been kind of pushing it off reading it just because I feel like I didn't want to leave myself hanging with any cliffhangers. Wow, hello, welcome Arkiel. I don't know how to pronounce that. You can correct my shitty ass pronunciation, but welcome. I usually stream only once a month because I'm a busy bee. And the streams are typically these crit streams where I destroy my Patreon's artworks or lightly compliment them. So yeah, just follow the channel and you'll keep up to date with when I do stream. Sometimes I do impromptu streams if I'm feeling particularly social that month and I feel like I have some art that I want to show off. 84 long years, yes. Boop. Ice. Okay, well, whatever. My goddamn. Okay, well, Jesse, you are calling it. I'm going on the wrong layer already. You would probably get a little bit of light on this arm too. Ubisoft stocks. No, but is it something we should think about, Misu? Oh, great financial expertise, Lord. I just know my dad bought like a shit ton of Nvidia stock like back then, so he's like cackling every single time he thinks of it. Maybe there's like, I don't know, shadow of the hand over here. I don't actually know. Yeah, he's so freaking happy about that stock. He like brags about it to everyone he knows. Am I missing something about Ubisoft? What have they done wrong now? Okay, let's go into some nuance stuff now. Nuance. And I'm gonna use the soft brush in order to kind of cheat myself. Can only go up. You should wait for it to plummet all the way to the bottom, then you should pick up some stock. Isn't that how it works? Ooh, that doesn't sound very nice. The thing is, you should wait till they're basically bankrupt so you can buy up all the stock and become like a major stockholder. Then you can kind of make the game however you want. Maybe that can fix up whatever shithole they've done. Yikeroonies. Don't we hate when the music stops? Other people, woo woo. And then you may potentially get brighter sections up here on that seat where kind of the light is bouncing everywhere. Let us throw in some color. so that we can kind of give you some idea on what direction you should head towards. You can either go for naturalistic color like in the promo picture that you sent me for the reference, or you can go for your original picture. Just depends on you. It's not too late, Jesse. You can throw it in right now and I will just pull it up later. Original color. Alright, let's do funky colors then. So I may adjust some of these colors just a little bit because it has been about a year, and so I would hope that we all improved a little bit in our color theory. So if we have all these blues over here, I may not want to do a blue for the back right here. Maybe we could opt for sort of orangey color, or we could do yellowy color. And then you can keep that purple table. Cyan color is pretty poppin'. And then how am I gonna do this? Floor. Most of the time when I do checker floors, I keep all the other color checkers in a different layer, so it's gonna be a bit rough. Okay, we'll work with what we got. Pretend this is, and then let's play around with the color in the background. So I don't want to do blue because it's just too similar to the seat. The teal of the seats really can't pop out as we would like it. So if you really want, we could do a pink, a really saturated pink that's really light. Just to make it super candy feel. Oh, that's true. Procreate does have layer limits. Okay, well, I will separate some stuff though, because I am not Procreate. I am on illegal Photoshop. I'll put the character colors on a different layer so you can make it easier for yourself. Bootleg Photoshop. I mean, you can see the interface and you can see that it's like super old, and that's how you know it's not. It's not the subscription Photoshop that they have right now. So if they ever catch me, y'all have to lie and say you didn't know. Let's go this kind of pinkish color. We'll see how I feel about it after we got all the colors in there first, okay? Sure. I could never break the law. What are you talking about? My last name is literally Law, so I am the law. I used to have a 4th grade teacher who used to make a joke like that, and it'd annoy me so fucking much. Because it wasn't like he said anything of substance, he just said, "Ah, yes, you are the law, haha." Okay, I'm gonna do a peachish color, this one. That way when we do the seats, which are gonna be like this, the saturated yellow orangey color, it won't feel out of place. Nice. Two-year anniversary. You were correct, Amundo. It's been that long since we got together on our little artistic journey. Thank you for sticking around, because I know we've seen so many people come and go. Yet you OGs are still here, which is pretty sweet. I believe almost all of you joined around the same time. I think Misu and Greta were the earliest, and then Jesse jumped in about a little bit later. We can choose to make this a different color, so I'm not against that color. I just don't know how I feel about it just yet. So we're gonna try it out first. And then I kind of want to change this now because I hate it. Most of my art process is just me picking colors and then deciding I hate it, and then I go back and forth. Ah, no. Shigaimasu. Ship, 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 ship. I think I'm just gonna make it a little bit less orangey color. 2-year anniversary, OG. I was thinking sort of purple, blue shadows like my normal nonsense. Yeah, I figured. So, we'll go for a slightly more pinkish color instead of orangey color. And then let me see how I feel about changing this. I feel like the purple just contrasts it too much. So I may want to go for a more naturalistic color, just lower the saturation. The wall color one more time because I still don't feel it. I'm thinking it's because it's too high contrast, too much colors going on. I think that reads a little bit better. Okay, we'll go for this color for now. I may change my mind once more. Okay, purple table over here too. Shoop. And then let's go for our baby boys. We're gonna go for a purple-ish color, purple-blue color, just to match your whole crazy color vibes. And then you know what's gonna really tie everything together? It's those purple-blue color shadows that you really, really like, Greta. Oh, he's not above that. Shoop, shoop. Front row. Getting married next month, you old ass man. No congrats, Jesse. I'm gonna use my lasso tool this time just to save me a little bit of time. Shoop, 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 shoop. Apply WD-40 before trying. Damn, Misu. What a terrifying warning about married life. What does that mean for the rest of us? Okay, I'm gonna imagine he's sitting. I will erase this later. Ooh, oh boy. Okay, since I don't like this, I'm going to rearrange him a little bit. You may or may not hate me, Greta, because I'm changing up his pose. Because I feel like he needs to lean a little bit more back into his seat, so askew. I don't know if this will work. That worked about as much. Well, it kind of worked. Not really. Okay, I'm gonna have to redraw this a little bit. Yeah, the reason he looks stiff is because he's sitting up super straight and he's doing this, which I feel like is not the pose you would sit when you're talking to a friend or just casually. Usually people, when they're sitting, we do not sit straight. We kind of slouch. So I would imagine he wants to lean forward a little bit more and put more weight on his elbows, whereas Gojo, being the confident motherfucker that he is, he's probably gonna lean back like this, where his whole back is touching the seat, and then he has maybe one arm over the seat, and then his other arm can be doing whatever the hell he wants. And so if he's leaning forward, that means his body is going to lean more. And you're going to have more of a rounded back, because if you remember just how that cylinder will look if we're kind of tucking it inwards, you can see this part of the shoulder is going to round out a little bit more. So let's bust this baby a little bit more rounded back, give him a little bit more muscle mass, and bring up his arm. The arm's gonna sit at the same height. Remember, right at this apex, this corner right here. So I'm gonna draw the general shape of the arm. Don't worry about the muscles just yet, making sure that we have the right overlaps. Then you can come back in and add the little wrinkles of the uniform. Hide that away. I already forgot how their uniform fucking looks like. Okay, just do something like that for now. And then he's gonna sit, lean forward. The music going in and out. It's because my headphones. I'm gonna take off my headphones. You may hear it in my microphone, which is why. Okay, hopefully that's a little bit better. Stopping and going. And then I imagine he's not gonna sit super straight. His legs may be kind of stretched out like this. Some weird shit. I'm making sure that his big toe follows the direction of his knees. Maybe a little bit more tucked here. Who knows what the hell he's doing with his legs? Some weird tucking probably. And then to avoid that weird tangent of that foot being the same side, like same line as the leg, I'm just gonna make the leg a little bit bigger. Let's hide that away. Something like that. I don't know. Usually you really can't even see it anyway. Then let's change the angle of the shirt in order to reflect his body kind of leaning forward a little bit more. And then I would suggest you kind of lift up his face a little bit here. So he's actually looking at Gojo. And that means we're gonna lift up his hairline a little bit so it's not too close to his eyebrows. Okay, you get to decide how you want to draw the eyes, everything. So long as the eyes sit right here. We got some Coraline kind of shit right now. And you want to be careful about making sure that the elbow connects to like the arm right here, because before you kind of had it in two separate spots, which doesn't really make much sense. Oh no, Kino, you can't be this bratty. Not your brat summer. I know it's no longer Brat Summer, so he can't be throwing tantrums like this. Okay, so that pose is a little bit more natural, a little bit more relaxed. I would even probably move his arm a bit more, honestly. Should scoot that more. So you really get that really slouched look. And then we can throw his arm more in this way, so he doesn't have to rest it on underneath. He has some space right here to kind of rest his hand. And that feels a little bit more natural. And you can avoid drawing hands. Let's see, can I make... I would probably bring his arm just a little bit farther back so you can get the nice stretch of that shirt right there. And watch out for doing too many of the same size folds over here. Make some of them bigger, some smaller. Y'all are hilarious. And then if he's slouching, he's probably gonna get a hella these wrinkles over here. So we're gonna make sure we get them in there. And I want to kind of reiterate that he is 3D. So here is your cylinder torso. Correctamundo. This is that midline. So his spine's gonna sit here, so his whole shtick is gonna be over here. Actually, let's go even a little bit farther. He has some mass. He shouldn't just, you know, be too skinny, okay? Bring it out just a little bit. Shoop, shoop. And I believe he has a little bit more of that hair showing, I think, but I'm not 200% sure. Might want to refer back to some references and stuff. Okay, let's finish up the colors and everything, and then we'll be about done for this, and you can work on whatever you need to. Shoop. I choose the wrong color. And then for black, I would go for like this grayish color that's in the purple family instead of going pure black, just because everything's so super bright. Isu, a style is just whatever you like or whatever is connecting with you, so it's okay if you're still, you know, having fluctuating styles. It just means you have different moods. And eventually you'll settle on like some particular style where it's like maybe you like this feature of this style, you like this feature of this style, and it's gonna end up looking like your own. So we are not choosing a white color. We're gonna choose a kind of pink purplish gray color, just to kind of match this warm tone that we have. Yes, I do notice me. But I think one consistent thing that I do see from you is that you really like dramatic lighting, and you do like to render a lot of details, so that's something that you could consider as part of your style. Whether or not you keep it as super realistic or more semi-realistic, it just depends on you and whether you have like the patience to do all the details. Let's go for more of an orangey color, or more peachish color for the shadows. Yeah. Shoop, shoop. This may end up being someone else. I don't know. Or I can't actually tell who I want it to be. So these colors are very temporary. Greta, you can play around with how dark you want to go. Let's go with maybe a metal for this one, and then we can go for white. Greta's are very detailed because she loves her lore, so that is why she has so much work to do. If you choose not to do as much details as Greta, obviously you could be done pretty quickly. I'm gonna have to put this. I'm doing stuff on the wrong layer. Let's go for a super vibrant drink, and then we'll throw in some of these turquoisey colors. Shoop, shoop. That way it looks really cute. And then you could throw some cakes in there for some of that yellowy orange colors that you really like. Probably go a little bit brighter. Let's do shadow. Some shit like that, I don't know. And then let's go for our leaves, which we're gonna choose to make probably more of a green color. No, let's do blue-green for the shadows, and then we'll go for a light green for the highlights. That way you can get that nice pop of warm color and still have that kind of unified color palette. Shoop, shoop, shoop. They got you there, Greta. These are really rough for leaves, but the idea is just I'm trying to mark out what the bright lights would be. So if your leaf is more facing the window, then you get more of that light. If it's less facing the window, it's probably gonna be in shadow and you'll just get some bounce light. Do the napkins, use that same color that we've established as our white. Okay. Or if you want more of that, more of that bluish purple color, then we do it this way. And we have more of those. So I'm doing it manually, choosing the color, but if you are not feeling like it, Greta, we can go for multiply and then choose a bluish purple color for the shadows. And that way it'll be really quick for you to kind of figure out what color it needs to be, and you'll see that this is moving closer to that bluish purple color, and we don't go too crazy in saturation for it. Let's get these in shadow, appropriate shadows, please. This will probably be a fading shadow because the light is casting on the body and it's not pretty bright. Or you could do it like that. It's up to you. And I'll do just a little bit of shadow. We'll go for a slightly more saturated purple, not too dark. Just to add just a tad bit of shadow to that bottom part of the wall. Something like that. Oh, shoot. There we go. What's your problem? Yeah, Greta, Misu and Jesse are making a good point. Where's our elf girls? Put this on a tray or something, I don't know. And then one thing I would do is not keep this all white. I would probably put some like just really faint light cyan color kind of background stuff. It could be trees, it could be a building, cityscape, just super blurry. That way you don't have such a boring white background. Because oftentimes, even when it's like super exposed, I feel like there is just a little bit of stuff in the background. Like in the reference picture, you saw like there's at least some trees and stuff. So you could do just a really light horizon line like that. Just pretend there's like something. Okay. Let's finish up this tree also. More of your trees. Nice. Okay, so lighting would be maybe right around here. You get a little bit of lighting over here. Some exposed lighting, something like that. Super vague, but just to kind of mark out the colors and get an idea of what we're working with. Let's add some light to this guy right here so you get that nice 3D look. And you're gonna finish off with a whole bunch of heckin' glow, so we can choose to make the glow more orangey or more pink. We'll see how it feels. Heartlight. I'm gonna try for this orangey color first. And if we don't like it, we can always change it. And typically I just kind of make the edges of the light a little bit of this blue. So I'm seeing that I don't really like this orange that much, so I kind of want to shift it closer to the colors that we do have in our picture. So we may go for more of this pinkish color, so slightly more pink. Yeah. I'm gonna zoom out more so I don't do that again. And usually just last minute touches I like to do is like go back in with like that original color, go slightly cooler, and just do some last minute kind of shadows to kind of really pop out that saturation of the color. So like this teal, you don't want to necessarily just use this kind of really cool color. You might want to choose just a slightly saturated version of that color itself, just to make that chair pop out a lot more. I probably won't do it on this side too much. And then bring in some of that highlight. We choose to go warmer in our lighting. Okay, something like that. A lot of things to probably refine. There's still so many things you could probably do with it, but I just want to give you the idea of where to go with the picture, since we want to rejuvenate our original image. So you can bring back some of those cakes that you used, because I definitely think you have the right idea about using the same colors in the desserts. Characters, yes, we definitely want some, but we're just changing the lighting a bit. Before it was more of a flat lighting, now it's more of a one directional kind of lighting. So before, after, just some slight changes to it and some ideas of where to go about it. I think you are getting a lot better with your perspective though, so kudos to that. Okay, let's go on to Misu's and then we'll do Jesse's. Alright? Misu, we see another ambitious attempt from you. Skr. So first of all, you want to figure out what direction her face is turning. In this image, her face is slightly turned to the left a little bit. So if you can see it right here. Let's just shrink this down so her face is here. If it was perfectly centered, it'd be here, but she's actually turning just slightly to the left. Whereas in your picture, you are kind of turned really center-wise. So I would probably, in order to match it better, we're going to mold some of these layers together, because I'm going to have to do some liquify. End up getting rid of some of your bangs for now, that's just gonna have to be how it is. So let's scoot her nose over so it's her face doesn't look so wide. Going teensy bit at a time just so I don't fuck up everything that you've worked on. Liquefy, pray to God, you're gonna work with me. And then let's shrink in her cheek, her jawline a little bit so it doesn't look so wide. And I'm also going to scoot up the Makima eye because it's a little bit low. So it's just super slight. Now she's looking in the right direction. Scoop, scoop, skippity doop. And let's pay attention to how big her actual nose is. So in yours, you're gonna see that this is a pretty big bulbous. You have less of that bulbous nose. So we want to scoot over her nose even more so it's kind of almost touching the inner corner of her eye. And I would like to kind of mark out just the nose first, like don't worry about the shadows just yet. And you'll see her nose is actually a little bit more round, a little bit less angular than what you drew. So let's round out her little nostrils. And then come back in with the shadow, because this shadow is actually super gradual. And when you use the soft brush for that shadow, it's going to make the nose look a little bit more bulbous, more round than you originally had it. Then scoot over the bangs so you have less of that weird kind of shape. And then one thing we're going to notice here, her eyes are now too high because I scooted it up a little bit too much. So I'm going to shrink it just a little bit. Actually, I'll shrink it down a little bit and we'll move the eyebrow up so we have that nice eye space up there. Because I'm trying to recapture that edge of her face, which we lost a little bit because we're too focused on the upper angle. And let's make her mouth bigger because we're closer to us. Tilt it a little bit more to match the angle of her eye, scoot it over. Bring it down a little bit so she has more of the space for her lip to exist. I'm making sure these are at the right angle. Should line up with the eye, if not, I'm gonna adjust. And then let's scoot Miss Eye over this way. So I'm going to get rid of your bangs for a hot second so we can scoop Miss Eye over. So I know I'm messing up a whole bunch of your colors. We'll come back and make the colors look better in a second. I'm just trying to flatten things out so it's easier for us to see our proportions. So what we do when we're drawing this angle, first of all, we want to make sure we start with the direction of the head. So this is going to be where the jaw sits, right? And we're going to say her face is tilting this way. Her eyes should be a little bit higher up the middle line, so it should start from midline and then curve up a little bit in order to match the way her head is kind of tilting upwards. Okay, then right where we have the eyes, this should be where that eyebrow socket should hit, so this is where that curve ends. And if she has like large cheeks, then it's going to kind of push out a little bit, just like how you see here, but you'll see it's still very much a continuous curve. So for here, we're going to do a little bit of measuring so we can see how much of that face we made too long. So large cheeks, yes, large cheeks. 6. Give me that 6. So face right here, you're gonna see it's actually very, very short because underneath here is where her under jaw is, and then there's her neck. So her eyes sits right here, almost a little bit middle point. If we divide the face into thirds, 1, 2, 3, 4, these are equal spacings, and then you'll see that a good chunk, a little less than half actually, is the bottom, and then most of it is that top right here. So right here you're gonna see that you have a lot of bottom right here. It's a little bit too long, so we want to shrink it down a little bit. So come back to me, Liquify. Let's make her chin a little bit smaller. And try not to exaggerate too much of this under chin part, which I know exists, but it's pretty subtle. It's very flat too. Okay, slightly better. If you cannot tell if it's the right angle, turn it upside down, Misu, so you're no longer looking at a face, you're looking at shapes. And you'll see that, okay, maybe this nostril is a little bit too low now. So we're gonna scoot that down. And oftentimes you're really not going to see too much of the eye, especially at this angle, just because she's looking down at you. So most of that eye is kind of getting covered up by the upper eyelid. So we're going to shrink it down just a little bit. And that also means the eyelashes should cover more of the eye. So Makima eye gotta go a little bit smaller. And let's match the angle. So the angle should sit right about here, and we're gonna use our black first. I don't know how you want to do the eye. Maybe it'll be a red color or something. So I'll choose sort of this reddish color just to match your whole red vibe. Keep in mind, like, the shadow here is pretty blurry, so we have so much of the skin kind of just melting into the hair. So simplify what you're seeing, Misu. If you don't see anything there, don't try to add stuff in there. Finish up that lip. Scooting it over some more, giving back that shadow in the right spot. this side's very much in shadow. There's not much light going on, so I'm gonna change up the colors that we've got going on here. More down. And I would even suggest you can bring some of that black into over here. Because if you can see, this is almost the same level, it's just different colors. This is more of that brownish color, this one's like pure black. So we can take this, just go a little bit for the shadows over here, and then we'll make sure that the shadows next to it are dark enough, that way it doesn't feel like it's super dark. Let's turn back over slightly. Bring back some of the color for the lips, because I destroyed it here. I'm going a little bit darker in the shadow so it kind of matches a little bit better with that kind of nose shadow, because it is a very dramatic dark shadow. We're gonna try our best to do it this way now, just so we can see if, whether or not we have our features in the right place. Boop, 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 boop. This whole bottom face needs to get darker. Because her lip is so close to her hair, I have to imagine if we don't have her hair close enough, it's gonna make her face look super, super wide. I know you are going for this really blurry feeling, so I kind of want to try to keep some of those really soft shadows for you, Misu, and less of my usual really harsh shadows. Which is why you're seeing me use a lot more of this soft brush. Oops, let's return to 0. Anything else I gotta make last minute adjustments to before we move on to making this all completely. I'm gonna scoot this in. It's not Makima anymore. So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it so her face is not too large. Because it was super wide before. Oof, her face is still so freaking wide. I'm squinting my eyes to see. Even that might not save me. And yes, I agree the nostrils are a pain in the butt, but they're kind of important because you can't breathe without them, Misu, so you kind of need them. Okay. We fixed those, and then now let's make it so that the edge of her hair really works. So you want to take a textured brush. So maybe it could be one of these brushes. That way we can create a little bit more edginess with her hair. And then I want to make sure that her neck gets smaller. And I'm going to make her head bigger because her body is way too big in contrast to her body. Her head is too small in contrast to her body, right? So I want to make it at least this big. There be a copy. That way her body fits a little bit better. Still not perfect, but see how it's just too small. So we either make her head bigger or we make the body smaller. And I think in this case it's easier for you to just make the head bigger and then adjust the body accordingly. Make it a little smaller. And typically, Misu, you want to choose one direction the hair is blowing. You don't want both sides blowing, so you can have like straight hair like this, but this one I'm gonna shrink down so you get a better silhouette. because essentially what we're trying to do is we're trying to create one single direction that this figure is technically going. So you can leave like these really messy edges for the edge of the body. Let me fix her eyebrow just a little bit. We'll fix up this lighting just a little bit more. It should be brighter over here. And for small strands like this, we can take a smaller brush just to kind of add a few here and there. And if you choose for that highlight or like that rim glow, you could do it like that too. This side of the mouth gets some lighting, so everything else you don't have to give a shit about. it's pretty hard to fix. We're gonna go turn this around a little bit so we can kind of dissociate ourselves a little bit. I'm trying to see shapes. We're gonna try to see shapes. These are all shapes. When it's just shapes, we don't have to think about am I getting this eye correct? Am I getting this shape correct? Go for super saturated brown right here for that edge between the shadow so it feels believable. I'm gonna give back your little bangs. Fat Toji. You had I didn't point it out. That's why Greta didn't even notice it. I'm sorry. Now she's gonna notice it. She's gonna be so offended. I don't know if that will. Yeah, I don't think she'll be able to see that then. Let's see if we fixed anything. I think it looks a little bit better in proportions wise. Now the colors are definitely not the same, and I would probably suggest you go back and kind of rework the shadow transitions, because there's definitely going to be a lot more of that warmer shadow over here. Warmer and darker shadow, which is just really hard to do when you've had all the hair and everything in that same layer. And I can only do oh so much to try to help you fix up the lighting. Ooh, someone follow me. Woo, woo, woo. Hello, there's the most viewers we've ever had in this channel. Because I am no social media fanatic. I've noticed there's like that nice red rim glow, so if you wanted to do that, Misu, that's something you could also consider. Over here, just to make things spicy. Spicy, spicy. Same for right here. That way we really get that nice effect. You could potentially also consider duplicate, and then we'll do something. Dum dum. Am I fucking stupid? I forgot how I do this. Hold on a sec, chat. I'm just a dumbass. I can do this. I can do this. There we go. There we go. I don't want to move that. There we go. There we go. Do something like that, and then erase away that extra light over here. Anything you don't want, Misu, you could just erase away. Okay, and then if you want, you can just throw in extra few colors just to make it feel extra. And then let's finish up your halo, make it super poppy. So halo, I'm assuming you want to do white, or close to white at least. And this one's definitely not white. Maybe we won't do it like that. We'll do it like this. Why is my music paused? Oh, that's why. Something like that, maybe. I don't know. You could keep this or not keep it, up to you. Play around with like all the effects. So if you even wanted to, if you wanted to do more of that reddish color, then we're gonna go for color the whole thing this way, and then let's go for let's not do it like that. Duplicate layer, and then we'll go color overlay, and we're gonna make this baby pulp. And you can just play around with that red, you know. Up to you, but that's essentially how you are gonna have to fix things. A lot of issues with the head you're gonna need to fix up a lot of the angling, okay? And then let me see where Jesse threw it at me. Hey, yeah. Don't have anything crazy, just need a small direction. Cinematic view. Okay, save image as. That's not an image. Jesse, crit. Okay, so that's going to be for you. And then let's go to Jesse's real quick and let's talk about how to make this more cinematic. I want to give it that vibe. Yes, so if you want to give it more cinematic vibe, first of all, we have to figure out the whole story. So she is trying to comfort him, trying to give him advice, like a mentor. Question mark? If she's trying to comfort, if she's trying to like be like passing on the torch or something, passing on the torch of wisdom or whatever shit. I mean, you don't have to have the girl. It's just too flat because what we're seeing here is that you have two characters staring straight at us, so we want to try to change some of the directions that we're looking at the characters. You want the girl, okay. So here's what we're gonna have to do. I'm gonna cover this up for a second because it's gonna be very hard for me to try to change whatever sketch we've got going on, and we'll just try to map out how we want our characters first. So we have a couple options. First option, you can have Mr. Boy over here standing in the front doing his little pose. Okay, sketching, so it doesn't have to be great. Let's actually make him a little bit smaller so you can see more of his body, because I know you like showing off his design. So he might be standing here, and then we could have the girl come up like this, and she has her hair blowing in the wind. Then we have, I don't know, the sun, the light pointing this way, so we get nice cast shadows. Option number 2, if you want a more intimate scene, then most intimate scenes are going to end up being close-ups. Intimate scene. Okay. Intimate scenes are very close-ups. Then we could either do, you could still do the whole flat characters facing us, but instead we're going to cut off some of the areas of the character, and instead we have character doing his little pose and we have girl right here, and they are going to be backlit this time because lighting is super importante. And we could have, I don't know, a background right here, and you could have the flame right here. Then you can really focus in on like what the hell is the story. Maybe the girl is like trying to channel in the energy so the guy can like really do the flame properly or whatever. I don't know what the hell it is, but that is one option also. This would be more of, say, I don't know, maybe there's like some kind of tree in the background blowing leaves, and it's gonna be like walking up, mentor kind of thing, or her chasing after him like some kind of shoujo anime. So 2 options, 1 or 2, Jesse, you choose, and then we'll proceed on with just general colors and stuff. 2. I knew it because you're lazy. No, it's fair. I love doing close-ups too. So let's move on with number 2. So let's see, what was the whole shtick? I will do a better sketch now. So first of all, I'm going to make this a little bit wider because typically cinematic you have pretty wide frame compositions. It's not very short. If it's short, it feels very, it just doesn't give you the same tone as like a movie, because when you're thinking of like a cinematic scene, it's usually in the nice 16:9 Dolby cinematic theater. Looking at with the look, yeah. So we're gonna give them a look. So my boy over here, this is going to be hella rough sketches, okay, Jesse? This is the only way we're going to be able to work out our idea without getting bogged down by all the details. So she's shorter, so I'm gonna actually make her okay. We're gonna try to have him the same height, but that means he's going to be crouched some more. So she's looking at him, he's looking down because he's bending down that way. It's the only way they're gonna have that same height for the head. Otherwise, she's shorter than him. It doesn't make sense for her to be just, you know, staring straight at him. I would probably think about her design a little bit more too, because her robe could use some decorations. She could have a little bit more interesting hair. She could always have half up, half down kind of hairdo with some decor. I don't know what you were thinking, but maybe something like this. Go for more Asian style kind of thing. I'm totally changing up her hair, which you might hate me for, but just some ideas. You don't have to follow it, okay? His side swept bangs, I'm gonna assume are gonna cover almost his eye, and maybe he's closing his eyes or something. I don't know. And so, practice your hands. I imagine that is why you chose this pose. Wuxia elf girl? Okay, Wuxia elf girl. So Hanfu. My Hanfu skills. I can do this. Even then, Hanfu, their hairs are pretty complex. Take some examples, like look up some examples of like different hairs. For more sexy vibes, I would suggest you look up Tang Dynasty kind of Hanfus. They tend to have very accentuated boobage because apparently it was super matriarchal at that time, so they really didn't give a shit about showing off their décolletage. T-A-N-G. Tang Dynasty clothing. And you're going to see lots more of the décolletage. There's also that TV show, this TV show, they fucking did not give a shit about PG-ness at all. Because look at how much they just decided to go ham on the cleavage. But the outfits are holy smokes so pretty. Like, good lord. Obviously you don't have to do as crazy complicated as that. It could even just be simple 2 robes like that. So shoop shoop. Gave her that Hanfu, give her some earrings. Ooh, shoo shoo. And she has her arm about him. So fucking rough. This may not even be how her arm should look like. I forgot, how does his hair look like? There, spiky af hair. Okay. And then I may suggest giving him, I don't know, ear cuff right here or something, some shit like that, just to kind of accentuate this side of the face, because he does have like a majority of his face kind of covered, even if you are kind of reveal it a little bit with the hair. Some shit like that, I don't know. Lame. Let's do some colors. So exploration of color, if you want to do happy vibes, I would aim for more orangey and yellow sunsets. Like, you like this pose? I know you like this pose, Jesse. This is why I suggested it to you. Some kind of silhouette in the background like this, which could be like you could look up like palace architecture shadows kind of thing. Hold a sec, let's look up some architecture, Chinese palace architecture, just so I get a better silhouette vibe. Beijing. Forbidden Palace. Okay, some shit like this. Maybe you have the gate over here. I don't know, some shit like that. You could put a little dragon, because they typically have a lot of those kind of characters just to guard the roof for spirits or some shit like that. And I just want to brighten up this baby here. Take some of those paints, add maybe some clouds. Super rough clouds, and then you can come back in with some light on the bottom. So long as the sky is dark enough, you can have that light. If not, just ignore the light. And then use just a little bit of a lighter color to add some shape to your silhouettes. Okay, so we're not gonna go crazy with all the details, or you're gonna suffer and hate whatever you're drawing, because I know I did whenever it comes to these types of architecture. Okay, just a little bit of detail is good enough. Because everything is going to get up. Blurrymondo. Like that. So what's the point of doing too much crazy details, right? Some weird shit like that maybe. And then let's do our character. They're also going to be in shadow, perhaps maybe not as crazy dark as that background, but they're definitely going to be in backlit vibes. And then maybe I'll lighten up this a little bit just so the characters can really pop out better. Let's scoop this background down a little bit so we get less of that dark color and we get more of that light, so when our characters are vibing we can see them better. Okay, and if you use Hanfus, then you're gonna know that their clothing tends to be a little bit more transparent, so that's your opportunity to kind of bring back some of that light. And we're gonna opt for maybe, I don't want to stray too far from our orangey colors, so we're gonna go for maybe an orange or greenish dress, and if it's greenish it's gonna end up looking more yellowy orange in this lighting. We'll do darker shirt for him, lighter clothes for her. Let's go for a yellowy color and go a little bit lighter. And then bring back her arm in there. hanbos are very colorful, so we definitely have to add more color variations to her actual outfit. It can't just be this color or else it's gonna look so freaking boring. We can go for this color and then let's add some of that color to him too. Ha ha ha. And if you want, you can make his hair lighter. I don't know, but maybe it'll actually just be a darker version of this red. Depends on how you're feeling. And then let's add back that flame in there because I know that's a color that we want. So we can choose to make this flame turquoise, because if you make this flame a yellow orange, you're gonna see jack shit. So the brightest is inside, so we'll make it really bright, white, and then you can have like this darker bluish color on the outside. It contrasts, yes, you know color, yes. This is the turquoise is basically a complementary color of all those orangey colors, which is why I'm choosing to use that color. Okay, you can play around with your layer modes, so if you wanted to, that way it could look extra spicy cool. And then you could bring some of that color back into her eyes so you really get that kind of supernatural vibe. So whatever she's doing to guide him or whatever is reflecting back in her. And I wouldn't have too much of her hair blowing this way, just because it's going to cover up the silhouette of her face, so be careful. And then final touches, just because that's just the general ideas of the colors. You could potentially, you know, play around with it more. You could have some jewelry here, that's some greens. That way it kind of echoes, you know, his outfit a little bit more. You're just gonna finish off with some nice spicy rim glow. I would just probably choose like a reddish pinkish color to match the sunset, you know. And then we'll do a nice blue glow for the flames. Obviously you'll probably have to do the glows a little bit better than this. Not too bright. Super fun, Jesse, super fun for you. Start with the flame glow first, and then so like this is not necessarily how you would do this. I would probably go make the face lighter, so you'll see that you're gonna have to go closer to that green color in order for the face to really show. So like when you just add like that blue color on top, the color gets darker. So we have to kind of manually do it ourselves, so that way everything is actually properly lit in the correct values. Okay, so you'll see like right here, pretty light compared to the saturation. You'll see it better if we do this in black and white. So see how it's slightly lighter than this? It's because this is super saturated, this is not saturated. So let's make sure this girl gets a little bit of this glow, just a little bit, tad bit. He should have the highest because he's closest. Same for the fingers. And then I'm gonna make sure that I still have a nice spicy shadow right here. And then just last final minute touches, you're gonna want to just sprinkle a little bit of that blue turquoise green everywhere here and there, so you can play around with some textures. If you have a brush that does like random texturing, that'd be best. Otherwise, you could do these weird shapes here and there. I don't want to hide these away, so I don't know, maybe you could have some wind flowing around him and her, just to help you bring it together a little bit more. Just a little bit, right? That's the whole idea. You'll probably refine it better than me. If anything, you could brighten up the hands here a little bit just to give it better rim glow. Because they are, you know, getting some of that light from the sun. Just maybe not as much, you know. Okay, anyway, that's the whole gist of it. That's where I would make your thing more cinematic. You could even go as far as to do some filters. So we are gonna go for iris blur maybe. Cancel. This doesn't look very good when you don't merge the layers, and I don't want to merge the layers just yet because we'll do it the old-fashioned way then. Motion blur. Once you merge the layers, they'll look better. Right now it just looks like ass because you're seeing the colors go one way and then the line layer is going another way, so just pretend it works, okay? That's basically the idea of it. You want to be able to use all colors here and there just to repeat colors and make things look a little bit more cohesive. Okay, so general idea, that's how you might make things a little bit more cinematic. So play around with the angles of the characters, how much you're cropping it, the lighting of the situation, and I think this should give you a little bit more inspiration to keep working on this. I know this You like this pose. Okay, so that's gonna be it for this crit session. Thank you for joining me, everybody. I'm gonna finish up the tutorial video, I promise. I'm so sorry. I thought I was going to be able to finish the final piece. I recorded a whole bunch of examples, so let me see if I can pull it up. I recorded hella examples of different types of boobs. Where is it? Where is it? A whole bunch of examples because I know you guys thrive on me drawing different types of bubbos, even man boobs. Okay, I accommodate every type. I just haven't done the voiceover, so you're just looking at like me drawing. So I will put all your crits into a folder, and I'll share it with you a little bit later today, and then I'll also upload this stream onto YouTube, so if you want to go back and go over some of the things I talked about, you can do that on your own time. Okay, bye bye. I'm gonna go eat dinner now. Have a good weekend, everybody. I will see you next month. Maybe we'll have another impromptu crit sesh. Okay, bye 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 bye.